Hey y'all, let me know y'all can see me already running into difficulties this morning. Let me know y'all can see me. I'm probably supposed to do it in landscape, but I don't know. So we're gonna start this off this way first. So let me know you can hear me and see me. Thank y'all for joining. This is my first live on YouTube. So it shouldn't be no different than my other lives in my group. So let me see if I can see chats. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I don't know what I'm doing. So bear with me. So this is my first time. So here we go. All right, so we're gonna make this top right here something real simple, something real quick and easy. You can create this using a sewing machine only. You can create this using a sewing machine only, but we will be using a serger and a sewing machine. I will explain it using a sewing machine as well, but this is the top that we're going to create. So it looks like this at the back and this here. So I'm just going to sit her over here to the side, move her on out the way, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. So I'm not sure if y'all can see this good or not. I probably have to do this over. I don't know, but we're going to go with it. Okay, so you're going to get you can use either stretch fabric or cotton fabric, okay? So either stretch fabric or non-stretch fabric. I did create some with cotton fabric and they turn out beautiful, okay? Also with this is cotton as well. This is a larger one, but this is cotton as well. And then we have our stretch material. Now the measurements that you're going to need, because you're going to have to take your measurements, right? So the measurements you're going to need are around your bust area, okay? So this is without, because this particular pattern is not for bras, okay? And I'm just gonna be honest, it's not for people with large, these things here. It's not for people with these large areas here. Hey girl, hey Shawana. So since it's not for ladies that have this bust area is huge, I wouldn't create it for them, but if you have a smaller bust, you can create it. So we're first gonna find out our measurements, right? Shawana, let me know if you can see me good, girl, because I don't know what I'm doing. Right? So I'm just on here. I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't have no problem with just messing up and getting better and better. So let me know. Can you see me good? Before I keep going, can you see me good and hear me good? Let me know, lady. Yes, I can see you good, Eric. I'm excited. Okay, I did something right. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to need our measuring tape. Okay, you're also going to need cotton fabric or non-stretch fabric or stretch fabric. I found that both of them work just as good. You just got to know the correct measurements for your size. Okay. Yeah, you excited too? I am. I'm excited. So you just got to know the correct measurement for your size. Or if you're going to create to sell, then you need to make sure you know that person's measurements that I'm going to show you to take. You're also going to need some wonder clips or pins. It's totally up to you. Either one is fine. You're going to need your serger and sewing machine, or just your sewing machine only. But you will need If you don't have a serger, you don't need a serger. But if you have a serger, you're still going to need your sewing machine for this, okay? Really simple, and I'll show it one more time for those that might have just joined in. This is the top that we're going to create. Now, it doesn't have to be crisscrossed here. It can be just like this as well, okay? And then this is the back. So I'm starting off this live with an adult shirt, okay? Because you know I only make kids clothes. So I'm gonna start off with this adult shirt because it was so simple and so quick to make that I have to try it. Okay, I have to show you. All right, so you're going to need, again, your non-stretch or stretch material. You're going to need your measuring tape. I don't know if I said that. Rotary cutter, scissors, okay? And if you're using cotton fabric or non-stretch fabric, you're going to need an iron. I'm not going to use an iron because I'm using stretch material, so I'm not going to need the iron, okay? So let's get started. All right, first step you're going to do is find out what your bust measurement is, okay? Now listen, this is listen, I don't know much about bust. I don't have much of it, but listen, this was simple. So anyway, you're going to go around this part here of your back. All right, and this is your bust, these areas right here. Make sure you go with the larger part of the bust, okay? So if you got chest that kind of like go low or something, then I don't know how to tell you what to do with those, right? But I can tell you if they sit out like this, you can. So here we go. So I took mine, and it says 37 on here, but I know I'm like a 30, 36, 35, 36. Because I have on a bra. This is without a bra, okay? So you'll take that bust measurement, all right? And then you're going to, if you're going to use stretch material, you're going to subtract about 3 inches, okay? I wouldn't subtract too much more than 3 unless the fabric is real stretchy, right? That does not have a good recovery, okay? So if it does not have a good recovery, then I would say, you may want to take less off, but no, more off, but no more than 3 for good fabric. So right now I'm using bullet fabric, just a really good texture stretch fabric. It has great recovery, so that's what I'm going to use, okay? So after we take our bust measurement, so I took my bust measurement and it said 37, I believe, on there. I'm going to add, I'm going to subtract 3 from it. So 37, subtract 3. So you'll get to 34. So you're going to take that measurement, keep it in your mind, 34, right? So if you have 24 busts, then you're going to take 3 off, and that's going to give you 21, okay? So just subtract 3 if you're using stretch material. If you're using cotton material, you're going to have to play with that thing, right? So when I did mine with the cotton material, it was, what I did was I added, instead of subtracting, I added a couple of inches so that it will fit snug on me. If you cut it at your exact measurements or you take off 3 inches, it's not going to stretch, right? Which means it's going to be too little. Right? So we don't want that. So we want to make sure that we measure our bust first, and then from the top of our bust down to the bottom, or however far you want it to go. So from the top of your bust area, so like about right here, right? All the way down to the bottom, however far you want to go. Mine is measuring 9. So you're going to cut your measurements is going to be 34 by 9, okay? So we're going to add about a quarter of an inch or 3/8 of an inch for seam allowance, okay? So I'm going to cut mine because I'm using a stretch fabric and I'm making something for someone else. I'm going to tell you the measurements that I have, and I added about a 1/4 inch or an inch seam allowance, okay? No more than an inch is fine. So this one measures, she was 10 by 32. So from here to here, it's going to be 10 inches, okay? And then for the lengthwise, it is going to be 32 inches. And I already added the seam allowance. So just a small amount of seam allowance is needed when you are creating this, this top here, okay? So now we have it cut at 32 inches, 10 inches by 32 inches, okay? Our next step is we need a 1.5 inch strip, long strip of whatever fabric you're using, okay? So all I did was cut 1.5 inch of the full length of the, or width of the fabric, okay? That's all I did. I'm not gonna use all of this, but because it stretches, right? But that's all you're going to need. So 1.5 inch, no more than 2 inches, okay? You can do 1 inch, 1.5, 2 inches. 1.5 is perfect for me. Let's see. You're also gonna need, I'm sorry, a bodkin or a safety pin. Okay, so you're gonna need a bodkin or a safety pin because we're gonna turn this, once we sew it down, we're gonna turn it right sides out, okay? So we're gonna turn this right sides out. Hey y'all that just joined in, say hey to your girl. This is the first live on YouTube, and my girl Shawana says she can hear me and she can see me, so I'm excited. All right, so our first step is we're gonna take this to the serger. We're gonna take our main bodice piece or body piece to the serger, and we are going to serge down all 4 edges, okay? We're gonna serge down all 4 edges, making sure not to cut anything off. If you are using a sewing machine, you can zigzag stitch all the way, all 4 edges, okay? Zigzag all 4 edges. Now, if you're using cotton fabric, you want to zigzag all 4 edges. If you're using stretch fabric, then you don't have to do that. But for a professional look, then we're going to serge all the way around. So I'll do that now. And you can start at any side that you want. So again, I'm just gonna serge all the way around, okay? So I did one side, now I'm gonna do the longer side, and I'm just gonna keep going. And if I have any questions, make sure you ask them below. I should be able to see them. And if you join in watching the replay, then ask your questions below, and I will get back with you. All right, so I'm just going to keep on going. Can't believe I'm out here, but I am. They say you don't know what you can do until you try it out, right? I'm definitely trying it out. All right, so now I'm almost done serging all 4 edges. And I use the serger just to have a professional finish, right? It is not necessary for stretch fabric, but it is definitely necessary if you're going to sell it for cotton fabric, okay? All right, so we've serged all the way down on all four sides, all right? All four sides. Now what we're going to do is we are going to fold over. This is wrong side is facing up. So my wrong side is facing up. And we're going to fold over the long ways first, the length first, okay? We're going to fold over about 3/8, a quarter of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, all the way over, okay? And we can pin or we can use our wonder clips. I'm just going to put a few wonder clips, but if you're new to sewing, make sure you use as many wonder clips or pins as necessary. If you've been sewing for a while, you don't even have to use any wonder clips or pins. Just go ahead and fold over as you sew. All right? So I'm going to do this on both sides, from the bottom and the top. I'm excited. All right, now we're going to do the same thing for the top. Just going to fold over about a quarter of an inch or 3/8 of an inch and pin or clip. And we are done with our serger. That's all we needed the serger for, was to finish those raw edges. And now we're just going to use the sewing machine all the way through. And I think next time I will use landscape. I think that's what I was supposed to use, but your girl don't know. I think that's what I'm supposed to use. Right, so I'm just folding over and clipping. Broke that one. Get another one. All right, so I folded over and I've clipped the lengthways of the top, of the bodice piece of the top. My next step is I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to use a stretch stitch. So we're going to use a zigzag stitch and we're going to zigzag from this point here, making sure the back stitch all the way down on both sides till we get to the end and back stitch. Then we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to back stitch here. So all the way down using a zigzag stitch and back stitch here as well. Okay? And we're going to do that now. So just going to move this out the way. Bring this sewing machine over here. And the sewing machine I'm using is just a regular basic sewing machine from Walmart. Nothing too special, nothing fancy. And we're going to change our settings to the zigzag stitch. Okay? You're going to have, your sewing machine needs to have matching thread, so I have white thread. And now I am going to take it to the sewing machine and sew all the way down, making sure to back stitch. Using a zigzag or some type of stretch stitch. Right? Let's go. Really quick and simple project. And make sure you take your time and sew it, especially if you're using stretch material, because it can roll on you. And I just want to thank you all for joining, and those that are watching the replay, gonna watch the replay, thank you for watching the replay. I'm trying to use the right words and everything. So all of mine will be live. I won't do too many recordings and posting them. Majority of them will be live, because I don't have time to do no editing and all of that kind of stuff. You're gonna watch it. So if I mess up, you see it, right? No problem with me. But we're learning together, and we are creating beautiful things because we love to. All right, I made it to the end. Now I'm going to back stitch. As you can see, all I did was serge all the way. Now we're going to back stitch. I'm sorry, now we're going to go to the other side. All right, and now we're going to do this, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start, then back stitch, and sew all the way down. All right, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm trying to set a schedule of when I'll go live, but I also don't want to set a schedule when I'm going to go live, because I'm always coming up and figuring out different things, and I don't want to put myself on a schedule. Okay, good. They love lives. Good. Because I do not got time to do no editing or recording. And I love to talk, and I love to see what you guys are doing and where y'all at and all that kind of good stuff. So this is my first one, so I'm kind of playing around with something real simple. See how long it's going to take me. And just kind of get the buzz out there. I think that's what I'm leaning towards, just getting the buzz out there. You said the YouTube community. All right, so now we have serged and sewn down the both long sides, the lengthwise, from the top, and we did the same thing for the bottom, as you can see, for the bottom. Okay, next step is we're going to get the short ends. Everyone hit that notification bell. Oh my God, this is too much. Thank you, sis. Hit that notification bell. Sis said y'all hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I go live. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. You just don't know. All right, so here we go. So now we're on the short edge, which is this part here. You can see it kind of jumbled up a little bit, no problem. You can use your iron and flatten it out, or you can just fold over. And we're folding over about 1/2 of an inch. okay, about a 1/2 inch over. And you're going to use your wonder clips or you're going to use your pins to secure it so that it won't move, right? So about a 1/2 inch. Make sure you line up both of these here so it won't be hanging off. Like, let me just show you something that's hanging off. See how that's hanging off there? You don't want that. You want it even. So make sure you fold over enough, just like that, right? And then I'm going to put one right here in the center. Then I'm going to move over to the other side and do the same exact thing. All right, so I'm just going to clip my thread. Just like that. Clip my thread. And I'm going to fold over again on this side about a 1/2 inch over. Can you do a little bit less than that? Yes, you sure can. But I always say play around with it because your measurements is going to be different than someone else's, right? I can't wear this top like I got a stomach, right? And it just, unless I wear something high waist, this ain't going to work, right? So, but if you are a tiny soul or if you don't mind flaunting what you got, then this top is definitely for you. But 1/2 inch is a good, it's good to fold over about a 1/2 inch, but you can do a little less than that if you want. All right, so now that I folded over here, thank you, girl, and here, my next step is to take it to the sewing machine. And on this part, I'm not using a stretch stitch. I'm just using a straight stitch, a regular straight stitch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back stitch here. I'm going to sew here, back stitch, sew all the way down, and back stitch here. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. I'm going to back stitch here, sew all the way down, and back stitch here as well. And that's going to be the casing for our neck piece here, right? So we can tie it around our neck. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we're just sewing about 1/4 inch away from the edge, okay? Or 3/8 inch away from the edge. So here we go. Gonna start sewing. What I forgot to do was change my settings. So let me change my settings right quick. Okay, we're gonna go to a straight stitch. Right, we're gonna start sewing. We're gonna back stitch. So all the way down. All right, I back stitch, cut my thread. Now I'm going to move over to the other side, to the other short end. And so, again, about 1/4 inch away from the edge. Make sure to back stitch. And remove your pins or wonder clips as you go. We getting somewhere. We getting somewhere. All right. So now that we have our bodice piece is complete. The top portion is complete. All we do now is cut our thread. And I'm going to show you that we have 2 openings on the left and the right side of this top. And this is where we're going to feed our our necktie, or our neckband with. So right here, as you can see, it has a hole here for our case. This is our casing for our elastic. I mean, I'm sorry, not the elastic, but our tie, our necktie. So we got here and there, and we got it on the other side as well. Right? Just like that, on the other side as well. Now we're gonna move this over to the side because we no longer need it. Now, let's just say you do sublimation or something like that, anything that you want to apply, like your sublimation, you know, you want to sub on some on your material. This bullet fabric, this white bullet fabric is good to sub on, and this will be the time you would sub on your fabric, okay? So you can sub on it now, or you can sub on it before you sewed it up. It's totally up to you. But this is when you will sub on it at this point right here, okay? So I'll say try it out, see how you like it. And if you are to sell sublimation blanks, tops, this is one to sell, because all you have to do is sew it up, have this sewn up for them as well, and show them how to place it inside of here. You're good to go, okay? So here we go. We're going to move this over to the side. We're going to get our long piece of fabric. And I'm going to cut this long piece. It's already cut at 1.5 inches, but I'm going to cut it at 1 yard. Okay, so 36 inches. So this one is measuring 1.5 inch by 36 inches, okay? Because as we are stretching this, it's gonna get longer and longer and longer. We don't want a too long string, right? So we're gonna cut this at 36 inches, no more than 45 inches, okay? So 36 inches, no more than 45 inches, and this is for a regular size woman, okay? I don't know if you have these, if that's gonna fit for you, but for a regular size, not too big, you know, in the chest area, in the bust area, this will work for you. All right, so here we go. This is my necktie, and it is right side is facing up, okay? So right now we're looking at the right side is facing up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half with right sides touching on the long ways, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a couple of clips so that you can see. So I'm just folding it over the lengthways, right sides together, because what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way down this entire piece, this entire necktie or neckband, strip of fabric, whichever way you want to call it. All right, so I'm just getting my wonder clips, and I'm just clipping at the end. You can use pins as well. Do you guys have any questions? If not right now, if you do, then just put them in the comments below. I gotta learn how to switch from Facebook, Instagram Live to YouTube Live, because it's different. It's a little different. Not too much different, but I gotta change my, what they call terminology or something. I will, trust me. All right, so now I've clipped all the way down, okay? So, this one didn't clip. Let me do this part over. All right, so now I've clipped all the way down this entire piece that I cut 1.5 inch by 36 inches, okay? No more than 45 inches. And now what I'm going to do is take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to back stitch here. I'm going to sew here, and I'm just going to use a straight stitch as well. Can you use a zigzag stitch? Yes. So you would zigzag stitch here, or back, or a straight stitch, back stitch here. So all the way down till you get to the other end, and then you will back stitch here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just use a straight stitch, and I'm just going to sew all the way down. The straight stitch I found did not pop. When I made them before, they did not pop. So, but to be on the safe side, for you, make sure you use a zigzag stitch. And if you're going to use a zigzag stitch, go ahead and cut it at 2 inches instead of 1.5 inches. Cut it at 2 inches. That way when you do the zigzag stitch, it will definitely still leave you with the amount that you're going to need so that you can feed your bodkin or your safety pin through, okay? So I'm just going to use a regular straight stitch. And I'm going to take my time because this fabric does tend to shift. So I'm just going to take my time and sew all the way down. And I'm sewing using about an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Because I need enough room to flip it right side out. So I'm just taking my time. And I'm just stopping every few stitches so I can keep it lined up. Thank y'all for joining in. First time doing a YouTube live. I'm really liking it. And I appreciate you all for coming in here with me. I think the next time I'm going to have to do landscape instead of portrait style. But hey, I'll get it together. So again, I'm just taking my time because I want to make sure that it does not shift. This fabric does not shift as I'm removing the wonder clips. Uh-oh. Okay, make sure the back stitch. Now we are definitely done with sewing. Just gonna collect all my wonder clips real quick. All right, next step, gonna just cut my thread. Gonna get my bodkin or my safety pin. I love using bodkins, but I have the safety pin for now. And what I'm gonna do is, we wanna flip this tube right sides out, right? So we wanna flip the tube right sides out. What I do is I get my safety pin here. I just push it through, just like that. I just pushed it through, close it up. Then I'm gonna feed the safety pin this way through there, just like that. And I'm gonna do this all the way through. And I'm gonna be gentle as I pull to make sure I do not pop my thread. If you use a zigzag stitch, you can be as rough as you want, right? But not too rough because it could pop as well, right? So we're gonna feed this bodkin or our safety pin all the way through here, and just take your time in pushing it through. Just like that. And just keep taking your time and pulling it and pushing it through till it comes all the way through. Right? Just keep on going. So you got it all the way through. Once you got to the other end, just go ahead and pull it all the way till you got it flipped, right sides out. You can also use like a loop turner or something like that, but it's not necessary. Just take your time because this is a real simple project. Doesn't take you long at all. All right, so now that we have our necktie flipped right sides out, our next step will be to put your bodkin or your safety pin through one end, and now we're going to grab our bodice piece here and choosing whichever side you want to choose. I want you to get one end and feed this necktie through this one end first. Just like that, right? So now that we have it through this side here, we're going to grab the other side on the same. So here, we're going to come from here all the way to here and feed it through here on the other end, on the opposite end. All right, so now that we have it all the way through, guess what? We done. We done. Okay, so we are done. We're going to just remove our pin here. And then what we're going to do is gather this part up here, right? Doing your best to keep this part even, but gathering this part up. And then I'm going to try it on the lady so you can see it on her. But it will look just like this. And here's the necktie. This is the part that's going to go around the neck, right? So you could just tie it in a knot or tie it in a bow. If you make it long enough, you could tie it in a bow, right? But this is what it will look like. It's cute or whatever. All right, so just like this. All right, so now I'm just going to move her over. So this is what it looks like once you're done with it. I'm gonna turn it around, and now we're gonna try it on her again. So you just take it off. Just like that. And you put it back on. I mean, not back on, you put this one on. And again, this is stretch material, so it'll fit really good. Right? This is stretch material. So now we're just gonna bring it under her bust area. Then you just pull this. Then you can make it as tight as you want this part to be here, right? So however tight you want this part to be, all you do is you just scrunch it up to your liking, right? Then your next step is to put it behind the neck. And tie it off. And again, you can put it in a bow or you could just tie it in a knot. So this is what the shirt looks like. Turn it around, and then that's what it looks like at the back. You can make it smaller and where this is smaller. You can add a ruche, make sure it's ruche back here at the back. It's so many things that you can do to this cute little top pattern. But anyway, this is it. And I appreciate you all for joining in with me. Again, you can also twist it and then put it around the neck as well, like that, so it can show, it can be like this as well. Okay? If we don't have, do you have any questions while we're on this live? I appreciate y'all. I feel like I can do more, and I'm excited to do more. But any other questions? Any questions? Thank you, Shawana, for joining in with me and staying in here and boosting me and encouraging me to get through with this first live. I appreciate you for real, okay? And thank you to everybody else that joined in. Make sure you go hit the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell, and so that you won't miss anything that I have going on here on this channel. Also, join me over at So Cute Beginner Friendly Sewing Group. There you will see what we make. You will see the classes that are the private or one-on-one classes that are being offered. You will also see free tutorials on there as well. And it's a group of like-minded women and men in there that are definitely about that sewing life and crafting life. If you're new to sewing, So Cute Beginner Friendly Group is definitely the place to be. All right, so feel like I'm going too far and I'm going too long. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Thank you. Now I just got to know how to end this thing. Let's see. Let's see. I think here. Yep.